He's been hinting that he might play the character for years, and now Dwayne Johnson has confirmed that he will in fact star as Black Adam in DC and Warner Bros. Shazam movie. But who exactly is Black Adam, and what is his connection to Shazam? Is he a villain, a hero, or something in between the two? As always, we've got spoilers from the comics here. Here's everything you need to know about Black Adam. Kneel at his feet or get crushed by his boot. Those are the words The Rock tweeted when he revealed his casting as Black Adam, but the star also added the hashtag #TheAntihero to that tweet, indicating the direction Warner's is taking with the character on the big screen. Before we touch on this anti-hero element, let's go back to Black Adam's origins, where he was depicted as a villain and foe of Shazam, aka Captain Marvel. How a DC character could be named Captain Marvel is a very complicated matter that could take up an entire episode of comics history altogether. But suffice to say that the hero, Captain Marvel, debuted in 1940 from a company called Fawcett Comics. He was a great success, even outselling Superman within a few years of his creation. But DC, which at the time was called National Comics, thought the character was too similar to the Man of Steel and sued. A legal battle was waged for over 10 years, with Fawcett eventually settling out of court and Captain Marvel going quiet for decades, until DC acquired the rights to use him themselves. But in the meantime, Marvel Comics had picked up the trademark to the name and created their own Captain Marvel, so DC had to call their Cap books Shazam. Like I said, complicated. As for Black Adam, he made his first and surprisingly only appearance during the Fawcett era of Captain Marvel in 1945 in The Marvel Family No. 1. Created by Otto Binder and C.C. Beck, Black Adam was originally Teth-Adam, an ancient Egyptian. It turns out the wizard Shazam, who gave Captain Marvel his powers in the modern day and is the inspiration for Marvel's nickname and magic word, Shazam! Again, confusing, had granted Teth the same powers all those millennia ago. But Teth proved that old adage about absolute power corrupting absolutely, murdering the pharaoh and seizing the throne for himself. So Old Man Shazam intervened, calling his former charge Black Adam now, and banishing him into deep space. In the modern day, or 1945 anyway, the villain finally returned to Earth, having spent 5,000 years flying back home to gain his revenge. But Captain Marvel and his allies, known as the Marvel Family, tricked Adam into uttering his magic word, Shazam! Which transformed him back into his human form. Of course, that form was thousands of years old, which meant Black Adam died and decomposed in an instant. Shazam indeed. And so Adam was not seen again for some 30 years, until DC finally brought him back in 1977 for Shazam number 28. Revived by Captain Marvel's arch-nemesis Dr. Savannah, this Black Adam made a handful of appearances in various DC books before the label's big Crisis on Infinite Earths event condensed and rebooted the company's convoluted history. After Crisis, the Captain Marvel characters finally existed in the same world as Superman and the rest, and so Marvel and Adam's stories were retconned to fit in. In the 1987 miniseries Shazam: The New Beginning, the pair's origins were tied more closely together. Here, it was revealed that Captain Marvel was granted his powers so that he could oppose the ancient threat of Adam.
Bow down before your new master!
The villain was becoming an increasingly important part of Marvel's life now. In Jerry Ordway's 1994 graphic novel The Power of Shazam, and the monthly series of the same name that followed, this story was dropped for another retcon. Here, Adam also originated in ancient Egypt, where he was given his powers and dubbed Mighty Adam. But he protected his homeland for many years as a hero, only to finally go bad and be defeated by Shazam. Reincarnated in the modern era, Adam would go on to kill young Billy Batson's parents, which of course led to Batson's becoming Captain Marvel. Further tweaks to Black Adam's story would come in the team book JSA, as writers Jeff Johns and David Goyer would expand upon the notion of the character as anti-hero, a notion that had begun in Power of Shazam. Now from the fictitious DC country known as Kahndaq, Adam's actions in the past are revealed to be fueled by his thirst for vengeance after his family was murdered and his homeland conquered. Suddenly the reader could perhaps sympathize with the character's motivations. He would join the JSA for a time, but eventually returned to Kahndaq to rule and protect his people, sometimes allying himself with the DC heroes, sometimes with the villains, but always clearly serving his own agenda first and foremost. He's a guy who'll fight for the greater good, but Black Adam isn't beyond brutality and violence to get the job done. Most recently, he received yet another revised origin in the rebooted New 52 continuity, and he even helped save the world from a nasty version of the Justice League in the Forever Evil crossover event. So how bad a guy can he be? And all the while, Black Adam has become an increasingly important part of the DC universe. It remains to be seen which version of the character's story will be brought to the screen by Johnson and the team behind Shazam. But it is clear that Warner Bros. Sees Black Adam as an important part of the DC cinematic universe as well. What can we say for now, but Shazam!